People have heard me complain about some of the hurdles in getting interviews. What hurdles have
Yeah.
you faced? PR departments, people are like, oh, well, that makes it easier. It doesn't always make it easier. If you have a positive relationship with them, it does sometimes.
Absolutely. I think the thing for me that's most aggravating is I'll have buddies who straight up are like, oh my gosh, yes, let's lock this interview down. And then once we're about to do it, their PR people get a word and they're like, oh yeah, you have to run it through us. I'm like, okay, well, here you go. And then you either don't hear back or it takes forever to line it up. Meanwhile, you could just call up your friend and be like, oh, cool, interview time now, sweet. So that's always been so aggravating. It's such a kind of unnecessary step in certain degrees in certain
Yeah.
scenarios. So I'd much prefer to just kind of scrap that and go straight to people because I've never had any issues that way. But I understand why they're in place completely, and we gotta work around them. And usually it does work out, which I'm always happy about.
There were a couple of situations that stick out in my mind. I had one that was supposed to go through a PR department, and they're like, no, I'm an independent contractor. I'll do what I want. And if they want to complain about it, then I'm going to remind them what I am. And then another
Right.
one, the person sent me the email where the PR guy said, hey, Sean's asking for an interview. I can let him know you're busy if you want. And they're like, I'm not busy. I asked him to do this interview.
That's so, and that's the problem. I find like that's the mindset. And I'm not saying every publicist is like that, because I've worked with so many incredible ones between
Yes.
music and wrestling. There are some that just want to get so much press for their people, and I love that because that should be the job. But then there are some people who are like, oh cool, I don't have to line this up, I don't have to sit on the Zoom call for 10 minutes and listen. Let's just make my life easier. And I can't stand that, because you know me, I'm all about the hustle, I'm all about getting out there and doing things, as are you, and I respect that so much. So when I see someone who just tries so hard to get out of that, I can't understand it. I and it
Yeah.
hurts us too. It hurts us too, which is the most aggravating part.